It is about 1 in the morning. I am currently in Pontarlier, in the hospital. And I went to bed around 9 p.m. And I do quickly remember falling out of bed and landing on my left shoulder. I woke up very confused on the floor of my accommodation. Fortunately, I don't really remember why, but my host came into the room, saw me on the floor, and I was on the floor, and I didn't really understand why I was there, but I couldn't move. Just in complete and utter paralysis. And I remember, he doesn't speak any English. I barely speak any French. I didn't know who he was or really where I was. I mean, I didn't feel like I was somewhere crazy, but I didn't really register. And sure enough, after like 15 or 20 minutes just laying on the floor and us just trying to figure out what's going on, I go to sit up and my shoulder just screams at me. And I think everything kind of started to make sense from that point. He called 911 or whatever the French version is. And I am currently in this hospital in the most amount of pain I've ever been before in my life. Most amount of discomfort, most amount of just excruciating pain with my shoulder. I got x-rayed. I don't know the results yet. I don't know exactly what are the possibilities, but whatever it is, man, I hope the bite is worse than the bark, because it's biting pretty hard right now, and I hope it's just something simple. Big thanks to all the French people, all the French nurses and doctors, and to my host and his spouse, his wife, and just for everyone to be friendly and accommodating. This is right now. I mean, I feel like I merely am. I'm just right here. Can't really go anywhere. It is what it is, kind of feeling. But yeah, I think in the grand scheme of things, it's a kind of a nightmare situation for me. Just not only am I physically hurt, I mean, everything that I was planning for the next few months is now just kind of out the window. I don't really know where to go from here, but I think more than anything, just taking it 1 minute at a time, 1 day at a time, and just seeing what I can do. I really don't know. So the doctor came back with good news that the shoulder was just dislocated towards the back, and she doesn't see any broken bones, which is good. They had me sit in a chair and put my arm over the backing of the chair, and then I just put padding under my armpit. And that was probably some of the most excruciating pain I've ever been with. But when I felt the pop back into place, the pain went from 9.5 out of 10 to a 2 out of 10. And even now, like it's throbbing, but it's so much more manageable than what it was. And I think I'm going back for more x-rays just to make sure, but wild experience. That was crazy. So quick update, now 2 days after the hospital visit.
I got to the hospital in only a bathing suit. So at the time, I was sleeping and just threw a bathing suit on when the ambulance got there and didn't have much thought to put on shoes or a shirt. Couldn't move too much. So naturally, I was in the reception room um, in this sling and a bathing suit. I waited until my host from the previous night. Fortunately, they came, they dropped off my belongings, and I was able to change at the hospital. And I went and was dumped out in Pontarlier, which is a beautiful little town. I took the day just to kind of take it easy and picked a lunch spot just to stay in and kind of collect my bearings. My host that I had set up for my accommodation that night, and I started to talk, and I gave her an update about what was going on, and I was definitely just a bit flabbergasted and confused and just a bit I felt so up in the air, and I think she could really get a feeling for it. And fortunately, her and her husband, turns out, went to the United States and did a bike trip from Seattle until they went down to San Diego, so the entire West Coast. And they talked about how many Americans helped them along the way and how welcome they felt and how well they were treated. So they were very happy to say that, very happy to tell me that they wanted to return the favor. And so they offered to host me for a few extra days. And I'm really incredibly grateful, just so I don't have to spend any time mentally on where I'm staying tomorrow night, the next night, what I'm doing for food, what I'm doing for this, that, the other thing. And I could really just spend my first 72 hours thinking about, okay, how can I rest? How can I just get used to having one arm available? And what does the rest of my via kind of look like, or what can it look like? So that's where I find myself now. They recommended that I take a quick little walk up to the top of this hill that overlooks their town, right at this chapel, right here. Let's see. Beautiful. And it is an early Thursday morning, and I am still quite unsure about how the rest of this trip will look. I really am just in the mindset of taking things 1 hour at a time and just kind of seeing what happens along the way. I think if you were to talk to me yesterday, the day before that, I would not have been able to tell you the, the people that I would have met, the things that were to have happened, the situations that were to go on, and everything has worked out amazingly through the graciousness of the locals here, through a bit my own resilience and trust in all the crazy things that can happen in this world, and maybe a little bit of the pilgrim's magic. Somehow I am still walking around, still standing, and still looking forward to the rest of the via.